Hello parents, my name is Jen Omlor, future registered dietitian, here to talk about recommended drinks for children. Did you know that the adult body is about 50 to 75% water, and in children they're closer to 65% water? That's a lot of water in our bodies. Water is so important for our bodies to function properly and to help us feel good. If water is so important, why are we drinking other beverages? Maybe water doesn't taste good to us. Or, well, sugar tastes a lot better. Or maybe we grew up drinking soda and there's some sort of emotion associated with that product. Or maybe we just didn't know how important water is to keeping us strong and healthy. According to the Centers for Disease Control, there are four main types of beverages reported to be consumed by children: water, sugar-sweetened beverages such as soda, Hi-C, fruit punch, juice, and milk. It is recommended that we reduce the consumption of sugar-sweetened beverages and fruit juices, since both of these beverages contain high amounts of sugar in them. Studies have shown that excess sugar intake can lead to cavities, weight gain, type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. These are diseases that we don't even want as adults, let alone for our children. The 2015-2020 dietary guidelines recommend reducing added sugar consumption to less than 10% of the recommended calories per day, and instead choose beverages with no added sugars. So for instance, if you're recommended a 2,000 calorie diet, then 200 of those calories can be used towards added sugars. However, keep in mind that added sugars are also found in many of our convenience products like snack cakes or any sort of sugar-sweetened cake, or granola bars or anything like that also have added sugars in them. And those do count towards that 200 calorie allotment. So it's not just beverages that cause increases in added sugar consumption. Did you know that 2/3 of U.S. children drink at least one sugar-sweetened beverage per day? One sugar-sweetened beverage, like Coke, has 10 teaspoons of sugar in it. I measured that out so you could actually visualize it in a cup. So this is an 8-ounce cup, and this has 10 teaspoons of sugar in it. So it's about 1/3 of the cup with sugar, and this is how much you get in one soda. Did you also know that juice, like 100% apple juice, has the same amount of sugar as soda? There are some differences between the two, and the main difference is that apple juice has some nutrients like vitamin C, and the sugar found in apple juice is naturally formed from the apple itself. It's not added in the form that we know sugar as. But drinking a lot of juice has some of the same effects as drinking sugar-sweetened beverages, so it's something to keep in mind when giving our child fruit juice. So what should we drink? Ultimately, water is the best choice for our children and for us. That transition can be tough though, especially if our child is used to drinking mostly juice and soda. However, following these 3 steps, you and your kids can be well on your way to healthier choices. The first step is to monitor what your child is drinking. Secondly, we have to monitor what kind of beverages we are giving our child. The third tip is to ease that transition to more water throughout the day with some of the tricks I'll be giving you shortly. It is important to understand what the recommended amounts of each beverage per day are so you can monitor appropriately. Recommendations include no sugar-sweetened beverages like the soda and the Hi-C and the fruit punch. Limit your dairy to 16 ounces of low or no-fat milk, so that's the 1% and 0% milk. No more than 8 ounces of 100% fruit juice, and most importantly, 3 to 5 8-ounce glasses of water per day. So an 8-ounce glass looks similar to this. So this is about 8 ounces, and this is a recommendation for fruit juice. It's 1 of these, and for water, it's 3 to 5 of these. During the first 2 steps, if you discover that your child is drinking more than these guidelines, then it may be time to begin to make those transitions in order to decrease the risk of health problems in the future. For step 3 in the transition process, you may find you'll need some tricks up your sleeve to meet these recommendations. For example, one way you could try and incorporate more water is by adding freshly squeezed lemon juice or orange juice to your child's water. This citrus fruit gives a nice flavor to the water and it makes it easier to drink. However, some kids are not a fan of that sour flavor, so it may not work for all of them. So instead of adding a citrus fruit, you could try adding your child's favorite fruit. This can be kiwis, watermelon, strawberries, cantaloupe, whatever they really love, you can add that in there. You can even mix the fruit all together and do almost like a fruit salad within their water bottle. This makes it look fun and colorful, and it provides a lot of good flavor to that plain water. You can also mix the water with your child's favorite fruit juice in a 50-50 ratio, so that's 1/2 fruit juice, 1/2 water. Not only will this stretch your juice jug that you're buying, but this will also help with dramatically cutting down the amount of sugar per serving. You can even reduce it down to 25% to 75% and just keep reducing it until it's just plain water. Just be mindful that when you're serving the juice that you're not going over that recommended 8 ounces per day. One of the biggest tools parents have is purchasing power. So limiting or not buying sugar-sweetened beverages makes it easier to prevent consumption or even overconsumption of these products at home. You can also buy fruit juices in single serving sizes instead of the large jugs, but once again, from a financial standpoint, sometimes it's cheaper to buy the large jugs. So once again, measuring out the amount of juice you're using or using smaller glasses may be the best decision when incorporating and being mindful of that juice serving size. This will make it easier to keep track of those portion sizes when you're measuring it out or giving a single serve pouch, as well as helping you keep track of what your child is drinking. Finally, make drinking water a habit in your life too. Children model after their parents, and seeing you drink water may encourage them as well. Hopefully these tips help you to make that transition to more healthy drinking habits a little bit easier on both you and your child. Just remember that this is a process aimed at preventing health problems and will set you and your kids up to a more healthful life. But once again, keep in mind, these are all baby steps, and it is a process that will take time. So just make small little transitions, and hopefully some of these tips will help. Thank you for watching, and if you have any further questions, don't hesitate to reach out in the comments section below. Have happy and healthy drinking, and hope to talk to you soon.